Good afternoon. I'm Richard Gallo from the Work for Warriors Vermont program. Strength meets opportunity here in Rutland, Vermont, as well as our program is located throughout the entire state. I'm located at 2143 Post Road. We also represent the PRIME, which is Partnered Recruiting Initiative for Military and Employers. I'm joined this afternoon with my colleague from our program, Jeremiah.
Hello there. Jeremiah, as Richard said, I'm the Media and Marketing Specialist located up in Camp Johnson on our area up there. Our other two employment specialists or staff members with us cover the other counties up in northern and northeastern Vermont. And we're sitting down here a little bit today to talk to you about how the Work for Warriors Vermont program extends our connections with service members and their dependents and families to get fulfilling careers and to strengthen the Vermont workforce. And Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about the specifics of what we do?
So along those specifics, we assist job seekers in pursuing meaningful careers. We're a career assistance program. We serve Vermont military community and their local businesses as well. We support employers and connect with talent processing, skills, leadership, experience, and their credentials. Some of our local community partners as well are the Chamber of Commerce's, the U.S. Department of Labor, some of the state agencies, the Board of Education, some of the local labor unions, some of their national programs. One way of trying to get in touch with us, I'll have Jeremiah kind of tell you. Jeremiah, can you talk a little bit about the information or where they can find more information about our program?
Absolutely. We find a lot of times with people, not just service members, but people in general, when they're looking for a new career or to improve their current job, a lot of barriers to entry. They don't know where to start. They don't think that they're making any headway, getting the right connections. So we have a number of different ways that you can get a hold of us, whether you want to just pick up the phone and call our 802 number at 802-338-3078, or you can email us at contact@workforwarriorsvt.org. We also have Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn platforms where if you just want to send us a quick direct message to get some more information, we'll collect all those and have one of our employment specialists who's dedicated to your region reach out to you. And it really is about making these strong connections, not only with the service members and the dependents, but with our Vermont businesses as well.
Yeah, and a lot of the things that we get back into the benefits of the employers, and we do a lot of candidate screening. We like to streamline the vetting process. We have free job advertising and posting. When we connect with one of the local employers, we're also networking out there, job fairs and other opportunities. The programs that UVM is offering right now and some of the local businesses are, this program is federally taxed, has incentives, and is available for the local tax incentives as well. We go to most of the hiring events and some of the workshops. In the month of May, we will work in collaboration with Workforce in Motion. That'll be held over at the Vermont State University over in Castleton. Jeremiah, why don't you talk about some of the other opportunities for spouses and dependents?
Absolutely. And as I was saying earlier, we do try to connect with more than just the service member to the dependents, because a lot of programs that you will see in the military community are aimed at veterans, retirees, or active service members. With Work for Warriors Vermont, we're extending our services to not just those groups of people that have actively served or are serving, but to their dependents as well. Because we believe that a healthy military service, you have to have a healthy home and environment too. And so as much as we can do to strengthen or alleviate some of the stressors at home by improving your employment or just providing you with some information is really key. And like I was saying before, it really is about the connection, whether it's us connecting with the service members or the dependents, or us connecting with the Vermont businesses and organizations. And Rich, I know you've connected with a lot of our businesses through the PRIME program and some of the other organizations. Why don't you give us a little information about that?
So in those partnered relationships that we build with some of our community employers, as Jeremiah had stated, we're located throughout the entire state of Vermont, and we touch the borders of New York, New Hampshire, and within Massachusetts, because our Vermont Guard members are located in a lot of those states. I mean, they go as far as New Jersey, some go as far as North Carolina. We talk a little bit about rewriting their resumes. We look at what the interview skills are that are needed for particular jobs locally. You know, a couple of the newest companies that we've actually touched with, they look at licensing and credentials, some of the government contracts, different things within the Indeed and Jobs, USA Jobs. We look at Vermont Job Link. You know, we look at all these different areas that are looking for specialties that the Vermont National Guard has to offer, and we try to make those connections with the employers. In regards to the connections, like recently we signed a company, Stockton Security. You know, they're security specialists here in our area. They're also veteran-owned. They're also connected in the community for very many years. The Stockton family, you know, 26 plus years here, and they employ some of our Vermont National Guard members currently. Also with the Gun Runner Inc. over in the Benson area, the Brown family, we were able to connect with Derek and his wife and say, look, this is what we can offer. You know, they're looking for mechanical skills. They're looking for drivers. The partnerships have really come along. We're at probably about 48 current companies. We started out, we're reaching out to well over 150 companies throughout the entire state. And we've been very fortunate to work along with the human resources and make those connections. And you know, it could be you're looking for a new job. It could be a spouse that wants to get out of the home. She's been a home provider for quite a long time. They may be looking for a new industry. They're looking for a new internship, apprenticeship programs. As I mentioned, you know, the Workforce in Motion is looking at the trades. And we have a ton of those individuals that are already currently involved, right? They've been through basic training. They've gone to their advanced training. They're dependable. They're reliable. And those are the kind of people you really want to come on board with your company. They show up for work. I mean, that's half the battle we see these days. But we can also help their lifestyles change, getting them good employment, getting better benefits. We do resume rewriting and some of the licensing and credentials. You know, we've had spouses that were credentialed in different countries or different states, and we do the research to try to get them connected with the right people here within the state of Vermont.
Yeah, and if I could add on to that a little bit, some of these programs or services that we offer, like Richard's talking about with the resume rewriting, these are great opportunities for if you're not even sure you want a new career or look into a new field. This is something you can just give us a 5-minute call, email us over your resume or some of the things you've done in the past, and we will work on your behalf in the background while you're carrying on your day-to-day life, get back out in touch with you, and before you know it, you'll look at a brand new resume with all your skills aligned perfectly to a career field you may never even thought of or something that you've always dreamed of getting into. And really we just want to focus on letting you know that you don't have to take out a huge commitment if you want to investigate something different. It's just as simple as giving us a phone call, a quick message, or an email, and then we are really focused on trying to increase these bonds between the workforce of our service members and their dependents and the businesses and organizations in Vermont.
So again, you know, we talked about the resume rewriting and stuff, and a lot of times their military skills have to kind of be converted over to, you know, civilianized techniques and opportunities that company may be out there looking to fill a position, right? It doesn't have to be a technical trade. It could be within their human resources. And we have the military within the National Guard on both sides, the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard have all those people. We have media people out there as well, and we have human resources, and they're great careers. Not everybody is full-time National Guard. They serve in different positions, and they're always looking for a better opportunity. Someone watching may want to know where to start. How would they get a hold of us, Jeremiah?
Absolutely. Very easy to get a hold of. We have our phone number, which is 802-338-3078. You can also email us at contact@workforwarriorsvt.org. We also have our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn profiles. Those are all some sort of variation of Work for Warriors Vermont. We'll have those available in the description and on screen of this video so you can easily access them. But we're there, ready and available. Like Richard was saying, we have almost 50 different organizations and business in and around Vermont that are eager to employ service members and people with these specific skills. So we're really looking for you to reach out to us and us to find where you are so we can get you connected.
And one of the nice things is that we've been in that same situation, right? We're out there, we were looking for employment, and we were looking at, what's our next step in our life? And, it's a very easy phone call. It's very relaxed in the setting. You come into our office, we sit down with you, we look at the area, because sometimes you may live in the Green Mountain Valley and you want to find a job on the other side of the mountains, or you want to find a job up north, or you're living up north and you want to relocate down south. And that's where we use our communication skills, gathering all the information, sitting down with you, looking at what your background is, looking at what skills that you have to offer to the company that may be in need of your resource. And then we reach out to them. So it kind of guarantees you a interview position. You still have to make sure that you obtain the employment on your own behalf. But we work with those companies and we try to place the right individuals for the right positions and give them a great opportunity and prepare them with mock interviews, or just sit down and talk about the subject matter. You go down through the job knowledge and skills and you look at those opportunities and you say, okay, this is what I do in my everyday life. Right? We get up, we take care of our, scheduling, we get our children off to school, or we have to make sure we go to our appointments on time. All those things can come into play when you're starting to rewrite your resume. You may have missed some of those great things that you're already doing in your life that can be very beneficial to a company out there that's looking for that.
If you are interested in the different companies and positions we have available on our website, we do have all the different organizations and businesses listed, so you can research those and see if there's something that pops out to you before you even connect with us. You can look at the jobs available and just to see if it's something you might be interested, or if you just want to reach out and let us do the work, we can do that. But once you go through those first initial steps, you get in contact with us, we have your information. What can they expect to happen next?
So a lot of times we're looking at making sure we can set you up with the employment, have you come into our office, have you send one of your resumes. We look at two different styles, right? We look at the federal resume if we have to rewrite your entire resume, because that style of resume is a little bit different. And people used to do 3, 4, or 5 pages on a resume. It's really condensed down to 2. They want to see a lot more adjectives of what you're doing in your profession. You'll come into our office. Like I said, I'm located up on Post Road. My colleagues are located up on Camp Johnson and up at Camp Ethan Allen training area, up at Seats up north. And of course, we're working with the National Guard members and their spouses may feel comfortable having a sit down and looking at what the new opportunities may be. One of the things is, we do a yellow ribbon that is connected with the family programs and the pre-deployment type activities. And that's when we really touch base with direct contact with the members and try to see what opportunities they're really looking for, because they may go away on a 6-month tour or a 1-year tour. When they come back, if they don't have a full-time job, we're going to be there to meet them on the ground, and we're going to be there to make sure that they get a good opportunity or a good chance to be employed by these are magnificent companies. They all offer great benefits. It's very interesting. A lot of them are veteran-owned, which a lot of I know my personnel that I've worked with before, they're very surprised when you say, oh yeah, so-and-so was in Vietnam, or so-and-so, served in the Iraq. And, they get the meaning of what it is to employ a military member or a military spouse.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of harkens back onto, especially in a state like Vermont that's very geographically dispersed and not always easy to get from one place to another and get face time in front of these businesses and the business owners. a lot of times people tell you it's about who you know, not exactly what you know. And that's why these connections that we've made with the Vermont-owned businesses and veteran-owned businesses are so strong and really help our service members and their dependents get a good foot in the door when you're looking to go and change your career or advance it or just try something a little different.
Yeah, so again, it's just a phone call away. We do have business cards. We do attend, a lot of the job fairs in the local area. You see us out on the street. I mean, a lot of you in the Rutland community, but, as far as Addison County or down in Bennington County, we get out there and we go down and we touch base with the companies that are in that area. But it's more about the connection that we're trying to make with the military members and making sure that they're fully employed to their best ability and that, their way of life is improved. And whatever we can do to help that, that's what we're really concentrating on and making sure that the company's needs and the employees' needs are both met. Basically, if you are in that situation or you're in a position where you're going to look for employment opportunities or you're currently serving with the Vermont National Guard and you're looking at trying to get yourself placed in one of our companies that are located in our general area or even outside the area, up in the, the Barry area or over in the White River Junction area. I mean, we've placed people at the Veterans Administration Hospital. We've had people located down at in the Bennington area. Some of the companies are really out there trying to place certain individuals in good positions that they know they'll show up for work. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much Prime and the Vermont Work for Warriors Vermont program. We're in the north and in the south of Vermont, and like I said, if you have a need to get a better presence or you're looking for work, like I said, we work for the Vermont Department of Labor as well, and there's a lot of great opportunities out there. I think the other day I looked at, there was probably close to 9,000 jobs out there in the state of Vermont that they're looking to place as well. In our 48 companies that we're dealing with, almost 50 companies, they have great opportunities for something maybe you've never done before. Air conditioning, refrigeration, or we also deal with ARC up in the Alliance. We just had Alliance come on board. Some of these companies are looking for air conditioning, refrigeration mechanics. They're looking for generator techs. They're out there, looking for plumbers and getting them in apprenticeship programs and electricians and all those opportunities. I know coming up through in the military, I worked in the power generation area for many, many years, and it touched base with the air conditioning refrigeration. There were a lot of certifications that we had to get and go away for schooling, and that's the other nice thing. You're adding to your own education as well as building your credentials as you go along. So that's pretty much everything we have to offer for Work for Warriors Vermont, as well as the partnered recruiting initiative for our military and our employers. Like I said, if you want to reach out to us, Jeremiah has given you a lot of different good information contacts, but 802-338-3078. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we hope to hear from you and hope we can connect you with the right new opportunity. Thank you.
Have a good day.